Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Let's take a look at REGN, and we want to take a look at whether we can find any reasons on the chart why the stock is struggling to hold this level here at about 540 and 530. Is there any resistance on the charts that we can see? Well, I'll show you two lines that could be causing some type of a resistance problem. In fact, we can see here that on the weekly chart there was a breakout attempt when the stock was trying to clear the recent 2017 weekly closing high at 517.33. So there was a failed breakout here and here. So definitely there seems to be some type of rejection here or some hidden resistance. Let's take a look at the monthly charts, and I'll show you two lines. And this is a monthly chart going back to the lows on the RSI from 2015. I'll show you one line, which is this support, previous support line, and it should be something like that. And what this gives us is the break here of the high there. And as we can see here, we are seemingly finding resistance on the line, which might be one of the reasons why there seems to be some type of hidden resistance around the 550, 540 level. You can see here as we come close to the end of the month, the more this is confirmed as resistance, the more we are looking at potential for resistance around current prices. And we can also logically assume that if the stock is to see higher prices, it would need to take out that line. So that's one line of potential resistance that could be causing the stock to stall. The other potential line of resistance comes from this break line. We broke below this level of those highs, and now we are coming back to test it. As of right now, seems like we are stalling around current levels, so this is also potential for resistance. Check the description of the video for a link describing this method that I call the uniformity method, but looks like this is potential for resistance, especially if we see it being confirmed as we begin the new month at some point. Confirmation of resistance there suggests that this stock is due for even a bigger correction after stalling at about the 540, 530 area. Now this blue line here, if you backtest this line, this break line, and go backwards, let's take a look at data going back to 1990. In fact, the chart goes to 1991. That should be good enough to give us what we are trying to understand here. So we're going to draw a line that corresponds with the RSI trend line break here. Let's draw it somewhere there, which is the break of those highs. And so we draw a straight line. There you have it. And now we are going to take that line backwards. Let's test this line to see whether it has been used by the stock before, and we can see it gives a lot of guidance. For example, resistance here of the highs. This is uniform activity above the line, back below it. That tends to be a reversal signal. So we can see that was a high. We tried to hold above the line, but we were rejected back below it here of those highs. Finally, we clear and move above that line. So this breakout above the line here in 2010, and we stay above that line until we move back below it, which is sometime, let's say, right here. So throughout the course of that period, you can see there was also a support zone. Back testing the line, it held, which was for the lows there. So throughout this massive movement here, massive move, the stock was holding above the blue line, which has become relevant in the current market because it seems like right now it is responding to that line. If this is confirmed as resistance, then this is a sell signal around current levels. If the market can clear this line, then that would be a bullish demonstration of intent to move higher. So anything above that line would be bullish. Otherwise, until we see that, we assume here that at the current levels, the stock is struggling when trying to hold above the 540, 530 level. So the best thing to do here is go back to the weekly, and you can use the recent weekly closing high as a buy point trigger. So let's say if the stock can move above 517.33, which is the recent 2017 weekly closing high, a breakout above that would be suggestion that the stock is clearing the monthly resistance zones. Okay, let me tell you something. So I had to edit the video a little bit because when I was recording the video I made a mistake of putting in the wrong ticker symbol, and so the ticker symbol that we are looking at is REGN, of course, but I made a mistake and put in I think it was RGEN. So I made a mistake of recording part of the video using this ticker symbol until at some point I realized the price was off. Like, wait a minute. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go ahead and keep the portion of the video where I was discussing this stock, since I already discussed it when I was pre-recording the video. Had to come back and edit it, cut and paste. But let's see what I was talking about on the long-term monthly chart for REGN, which, by the way, let me show you those two charts before I go to that portion of the video. This is REGN long-term monthly chart. Compare that with RGEN. Kind of look alike. They're almost similar. I guess in the same space, so they tend to follow each other. But anyway, so take a look at what I said about RGEN as far as its monthly chart is concerned. Almost similar type of a situation. Let's go to that portion of the video. So here we have data going back to 1990s. Take a look at this chart and we can draw the break line. Let me draw that again. So there's a break here in 2015. We take that information right there and draw a horizontal line. Should be something like that. And so we're going to take this line and back test it going backwards. And you can see that this was the break back below the line was a sell signal. Double top rejection here off the highs of 2003. Uniform activity above the line back below it for the lows there. And we can see once we moved above the line here in 2013, that began a very big move to the upside, and we stayed above that blue line until somewhere here. So most of this move was above the blue line, and so we can see for now this looks like potential level for resistance. So keep an eye on that. The only way you can also another way you can look at this is to set an alert on the weekly. Okay, I'm back. So interesting that the same stock has the same type of analysis. Well, kind of makes sense because they're both in the biotech space. So the two lines, line number one was this back test here, also consistent with REGN. And also we see that the line that we were looking at as a break line here is also consistent. And you can go backwards and it still makes sense. When the stock is moving higher, it's above the line. When it's struggling, it tends to show uniform action rejection on this line. So similarly here, if you wanted to play this for a breakout, you'd want to see the stock clear the monthly resistance line. So one thing you can do is take the recent weekly closing high as a breakout level. The level to watch there is 44.20. A breakout above this level might suggest that the stock has finally figured out a way to clear the monthly chart resistance. Otherwise, unless you clear the monthly chart resistance, one can expect the stock to be sideways to down. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. ESCS.